Okay, this is it. This is your last one. This is going to be the video lesson that's going to sum up Phylum Chordata. It's going to talk about the mammals and all of the different groups of mammals that there are. So go ahead and give this one a watch, and we'll pick up with mammals right here. Let's move on to our group, the mammals. So here we have the jaguar, the rabbit, the very unique mammal, the platypus. We'll talk about why it's unique here later on. We have the big rhino, and of course, I had to put a big buck in there. So we got a nice white-tailed deer, and Africa is what they call Black Death, the big Cape buffalo. All right. So let's talk about our group, the mammals. Class Mammalia, body covered with hair, skin has sweat glands, mouth with diphodont teeth. So what does diphodont mean? Two. Di means two. That means that we have two sets of teeth. So you have your first set of teeth, your baby teeth, and then you lose them to get your second adult or permanent teeth, and that's what diphodont means. The only group of animals to do that. We have movable eyelids and fleshy external ears. Our heart is four-chambered. Our respiratory system of lungs with alveoli and a voice box. And if you had anatomy with me, you should know what alveoli means. Alveoli are the tiny hair sacs. Excuse me. These are the tiny air sacs that we have in our lungs. And of course, you're listening to me speak because I have a voice box or a larynx. The mammalian brain is highly developed, and we, similar to birds, are endothermic, which means we maintain a constant body temperature. Okay, and as we know, human beings run at an average or a normal body temperature of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, now that's just an average. So that means if you're at 98.6, you're not running a fever. Some people may have a core body temperature that is just a tad lower all the time. My wife is always cold. I'm sure her body temperature is always below that. And some people may be just a touch higher. They may constantly run about 98.9 or 99.1 or something like that. Okay, so this is just an average. So what is the advantage of being endothermic? Well, if you're ectothermic and it's cold outside, then your body temperature drops. And that means your metabolism slows. And that could be an advantage when it comes to food and energy. You don't need to eat as much, but you become slow and lethargic. And being a mammal with a constant body temperature, when it's cold outside, our metabolism is still at the same higher level. And we were able to take advantage of that as our ancestors evolved on the planet. We were able to still remain active when it's cold outside, even at night. When your reptiles and your amphibian body plan was slowing down, the mammals were still active, and that was one of the things that gave them an advantage. Mammals have separate sexes, males and females. Internal fertilization, which means the unfertilized eggs will be fertilized inside the female's body. Eggs develop in the uterus with placental attachment, and that simply means that mom's body is going to nourish the developing offspring inside of her body. The birds, the developing embryos, will obtain their energy from that large yolk, and that's it. There is no connection to mom's body, but that's where mammals are different. And of course, what gives us our name, the youngs, the young are nourished by milk from the mammary gland. All right, let's talk about mammal classification. Order Monotremata. These are your egg-laying mammals, and yes, there are a few that do lay eggs, and that's why they're in a group all by themselves. The platypus and the echidna. Now, they still nurse their young, They lay eggs, the eggs hatch, and then the offspring nurse milk from the body. So they are technically still mammals because they possess mammary glands, but they are egg laying. Then we have order Marsupiala, the marsupials. These are the pouched mammals. Here in this country, on this continent, we have the opossum. And by the way, it is pronounced opossum. There is an O in front of the P. Everybody always says possum, but it is pronounced opossum. And of course, they have a pouch. The kangaroo, the koala bear, Australia has a lot of marsupials, but here in this side of the globe, we don't quite have as many. Order Insectivora, these are your mammals that eat strictly insects, such as the shrew, hedgehog, and moles. Chiroptera, the bats, the winged mammals. Primates, this is us. These are the mammals that have thumbs. We have opposable digits. The prosimians, monkeys, apes, and humans. Order Lagomorpha, these are your rabbits, hares, and pikas. They are not rodents. They are in a separate group called the lagomorphs. Speaking of rodents, those are your squirrels, rats, woodchucks, mice. Those are all rodents in order Rodentia. And then order Cetacea are the whales and dolphins. And continuing on, we go order Carnivora. These are your carnivores, your meat eaters, which are your dogs, cats, and bears. Order Pinnipedia, some of your marine mammals, your sea lions, seals, and walruses. Order Proboscidea, these are your elephants, because their proboscis, or nose, is very long, so the tapir is another. There are that trunk that they have, the proboscis is long and prominent. Those are the elephants. The hoofed animals, and they are into two groups, your odd-toed and your even-toed. So order Perissodactylia, these are the odd-toed. So a horse, by the way, has one, that's an odd, so it's just that one toe. A rhino walks on 3 toes, so those are all odd numbers. So those are the odd hoofed animals. And then order Arctidactylia, these are your even-toed. So deer and cattle have 2 toes that they walk on, or that cloven hoof. And giraffe walk on 4. If you've ever seen that, it's kind of unique. Or no, excuse me, giraffe walk on 2. It's the hippo that walks on 4. If you've ever seen a hippo foot, kind of weird looking, and it walks on those 4 toes, but still has the hoof structure. Okay, so those are your differences. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of Phylum Chordata. That's our last group. That's the end of the course. So congratulations, we made it. Kind of a unique way to end the year. We weren't together for a long time, but I still enjoyed the time we had together. So we know the drill. Head on over, take your exit slip for the section on birds and mammals, and enjoy yourselves. I had a good time, and hopefully I will see you in the halls come next year. Thanks, and have a good one.